Hello friends, so today we'll be discussing about media queries, which is one of the important uh, things to be learned in HTML and in web page designing. This is basically a part of CSS. So why do we use media query? What actually is media query? There are some frequently asked questions. We'll be discussing the theory of media query first, and then we'll try to implement those in this page that is visible on your screen. So if I decrease the size of my browser, suppose it goes to smaller size, then the contents are not properly visible. So the work of media query is that as the size of the browser decreases, as we move from suppose bigger size screen to a smaller size screen, maybe from desktop to laptop to tab to mobile, all the contents of the web page should be properly visible to the user. So the user should not get any information miss because in a website everything is important. So the work of media query is to adjust the content of the web page according to the size of the user's screen. So the media query, with the help of media query, and the web page will try to understand the size of the device that is being used by the user, and then it will try to adjust the contents according to the size of the user. So let us see some theory based on it. So what is a media query? First of all, a media query is an HTML CSS functionality that allows the content of a web page to adapt to the type of media that the page is being used, such as a computer screen or that of a phone or tablet. Now, there are different standard breakpoints, like for a small screen, 586 pixels or less is treated as a mobile screen, and anything larger than 120 pixel number is treated as laptop. Then there is medium size screen up to 786, then there are large size screen up to 992 pixels, and extra large is 1200. But the important is 2 points are important. Something less than 586 that will be considered to be used on mobile, and anything greater than 586 may be considered to be on a bigger screen. So a small screen and bigger screen. Small screen, anything that is less than 586 pixel, and larger screen, anything which is more than 586 pixels. So usually, since these two devices are mostly used, the laptop or the desktop as well as the mobile, so we will be considering only two media. One is with minimum width of 586 pixel, and one is of maximum width of 586 pixel. And it is written with this is the syntax at the rate media, this max width. Max width 586 pixel means this is for the small screen. Maximum width is 586 pixel, and minimum width is uh, this is for the larger screen. So whenever we have to implement some CSS for a smaller screen, we have to put it on max width, and whenever we have to put it for a bigger screen, then we have to put it in min width. And then if there are some contents we want that the contents should get wrapped one below another, then we have to use a property that's called flex wrap. So this is the theory. What is media query? So media query is an external functionality with the help of which the web page content gets adjusted according to the size of the user's device. Then there are two important breakpoints. One is for the larger screen, that is minimum width is 586 pixel, and one is for larger, a smaller screen where the maximum width is 586 pixel. Then if we want to wrap the content one below another, because when the screen size decreases, all the content cannot be minimized to a very small size. So some content has to go below one below another. So that can be done with the help of flex wrap property. Now let us see some. basic questions that can arise. Why at the rate media is used in CSS? Yeah, at the rate media is used in CSS. The at the rate media rule is used in media queries to apply different styles for different media types or devices. Media is the type or devices. Media queries can be used to check many things such as width and height of the viewport, width and height of the device, etc. Then we have what do media queries check? So media queries can be used to check many things such as width and height of the viewport, width and height of the device, orientation of the device can also be checked, and the resolution. So let us now come to the implementation part. This is the theory that we need to understand before we move on to media query. So I'll start with a very simple uh, page that will contain one box. With the help of box model, we'll create a one box and then we'll try to adjust the content according to the size of the device. So let's start. Okay, so I'll start from the very scratch with HTML. Here I'll put dot. Let's start with post to sheet. And then we have div as post. Okay, let us save the time. I'll take a post here and take one post that we have created in the previous sections. I'll come to get example. So we have a post. We have a header and these are the informations. So what are the classes that are required? Post header. Let me, okay, this is post header. This is the user. Then we have image user. Let's keep it simple. I'll do this one. There's a heading, there's a description. I want to keep it simple. So there's an image, there's a heading, there is a paragraph, and we want this one post class. So we'll create a style example one.css. Let us create a file. And here post width be 550 pixels. Let's give a border pixel solid and right. So we have border. Let's give adding up maybe 10 pixel. Let's give a margin. And output, and then we give a suppose border is suppose 16 pixels. and we have this file. Let us see how it's giving the output. Okay, so we have to make this image has to be also put in class. Yes, post image class will be required. So what I'll do, I'll create a post image class also, and the style example post image. So system post image. Why we are creating? Because image is going outside, and what we want the width of the image to be of that of the container. Okay, so now I'll come here. I'll check this once again. Okay, so now this is getting fixed. It is coming inside the box. Now let us see what is happening. You can see when it goes beyond this part, going for the mobile screen, then some of the contents are not getting adjusted properly, and it is the contents are not visible to the user. So we want to make it uh, properly adjusted. So now comes the role of the media query. So first of all, we have just uses very simple program to understand media query. So I'll come here and okay, so I'll give border radius to this image as well, so that it looks good. Let me check the output. Yes, so it's looking good. Now it has to be adjusted with the media query. Now for media query, what we have learned in the theory. In the theory, we have already discussed that these are the two positions. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it in the just try to remember this for smaller screen, and then we have this for the larger screen. Now what we have to what we have to do here is we have to put the post inside the media query. So I'll copy, sorry, I'll copy the post. I'll copy it for the larger screen, and I'll also copy it for the smaller screen. So let us see for this smaller screen. And now for the smaller screen, what we have to do, we have to remove this width, because now this width will be auto. As soon as we move to the smaller device, the width will not be fixed, but it will be auto according to the size. So what we have done, we have only as of now, uh, we have put the width, remove the width, and put the post inside the media query. Now let us see the output. Let's come here. Let us see. Now this is for the larger screen. The larger screen uh, has no issues. Now, as we move towards the smaller screen, now as we move towards the smaller screen, it has to decrease, but it is not decreasing. So should the content should adjust, which is not adjusting at the moment. So let me see if we are missing something. So what we will do for the let us continue. Minimum width 556 pixel, post width, border, and margin. Okay, border radius. For the maximum width of 5 or 6 pixel, that is for the smaller display, we have removed the width. The border is there, the padding. Here we can even remove the padding. And then the margin is there. Margin can be uh, this much, and border radius is as it is. Okay. So what the issue is, this post should be removed. This post has is to be pasted inside. We left it on the outside also, so it was not working. Now let us go to the company. Let us see the output once again. Let us try to decrease the size. Up till here, it is proper. Now see, everything is getting adjusted accordingly. All the contents are getting properly adjusted accordingly. You can see the contents are getting adjusted. Now, if we keep the padding as well, it will look good. So I'll put the padding in place. Here, what I removed, I'll be putting the padding of 10%, which I removed. Keep the padding. Now, let's see the output. So it's properly adjusted. So this is one example how we can use media query to adjust content of one card or one box. Now what if we have two boxes? So we'll take one more example where we have two boxes and there we have to adjust it. So I'll come back to the coding part. I quickly create one file, media query example 2. Yeah. And in media query example 2.html, what I do, I quickly copy the content. So, okay, let us take from the previous itself. We already have one. Now, suppose I'm putting it here. Now we have two posts. One is for Simon and one is for suppose. Yeah. This is so instead of pasting it here, we see and the previous section. I'll just remove this extra so that this remains as it was. Now let us quickly see how media for example was looking. It is okay. Let's see with the responsibilities. Now quickly coming to the code. And here we have now two two boxes. And let us see how these two boxes are looking in the output. So it is coming one. So to bring side by side what we have to do, we have to use flex. So I'll add this part and take the container for putting both the div and take the container and put the container here and close it here. Now what we have to do in the main container, we have to create a class main container. So let us create a class main container and let us have example 2 for this. Style example 2. I'll quickly create style dot css. I'll move from this. Just copy everything that we have created in the first session. In style. Now, what we want one more class. That class is, you can see the class name is main container. So create a main container class. In the main container, what we have to do, we have to uh, display it as flex. So what we can do here is save this box. Start with the main container we already have. Display is flex. This is what we want. So display is flex. And what this line will do, this will display both things side by side. Now let us see how this gives the output. Now see, we have two this side by side and see, which is how it is showing. Now what we want after a certain size, this should go below so that the content are wrapped properly. And what we can also do, we can decrease the margin also. So let's come to the code. And in style example 2, we will be doing is let us take margin as 10%. Margin as 10%. And next what we have to do is in the main container, we can put flex wrap is wrap. So in the main container, what we have to do, we have to use a property flex wrap is wrap. And now let us see of the output quickly. I try to create the output. Size is automatically getting down. Okay. When it is larger screen, it is side by side. When it is a smaller screen, it is getting wrapped. So this is also one way. And how this wrap functions. So I'll put the 30. So for this wrap, what is the rule? For width, about 800 pixel, it wraps. But if we want it at other width, then we have to put it in the media query. Now, if we want it for some other width, now let us see once again. If you see the output, at this position only, it is getting wrapped. Okay. Now, what we want is when we come more closer, then only it should wrap, not at the default width, which is about 800. So we want to set our own width and not the default width. Then in that case, what we have to do is we have to put it inside the media query. So what I will do, I'll copy again, copy the main container from here inside the media query. So for minimum width of, that is for larger screen, this should not wrap. This should not wrap, and this should wrap only when the size is 586 pixel for the smaller screen. And here we'll put the main container inside it. Now, if you see the output, what will happen? Just see the output. Now, here we have the things side by side. It is still side by side, it's still side by side, it's still side by side, adjusting the contents. And if we go to a smaller size for less than 506 pixel, now it wraps. So it is better now because it is uh, properly adjusting and getting one below another only at a certain position, that is 506 pixel or less. So this is how we can adjust the content. Try to understand, uh, go through these videos, and if you have not listened to my previous videos, so try to listen those previous videos on Flexbox and box model and flex model, so that you can understand it in a better way. Thank you very much.